Hello friends, I am Dr. Vivek and today I'm going to discuss a very important unit of UGC NTA NET exam, and this unit I'm going to discuss with you, that is the unit number 6. This is the unit number 6 that I'll be dealing with today, and the important thing here is it is a unit that discusses about English in India, how the English, the evolution, the history, and the future of English in India. This is the topic of my discussion, and basically how the present state and after independence, how the role of English in Indian in society, and in developing the culture, and to understand, and in understanding the life of Indian life. How What's the role of English? That is the point of my discussion today. First of all, this the unit which discusses basically, I am going to discuss first of all with the to make you understand the importance of English. First of all, I'm dealing with I'll discuss some terms like ENL. ENL is English as a native language. These It represents some countries at world level. ENL countries are those countries in which the English language is the native language, means L1, means by birth, by birth, as a native language they are using English. That countries like European countries, most of the European countries, this mm, this American countries, these American Ireland and all that. That is called, it comes in E and L. Second is ESL. ESL means English, where the countries where English is very important language, but not as official. They are not using English as official language. These countries called ESL countries. In most of the colonial countries, you can say the Indian subcontinent, it includes most of the countries, these comes in the ESL. And here English as a second language, L2, they read or study at school or colleges, the medium of instruction is L2. And third one is EFL. ENL, ESL, and EFL. EFL means treated as foreign language. The English is treated as foreign language, not L1 and L2. Countries like China, Japan, only English is used only as in trade and businesses. This language is used in only for very important reasons, where it's mandatory, like trade and business only. In India, if we talk about the evolution of this language, how it developed, how it came to the front, was the role of English in Indian scenario, and that I'm going to discuss. It starts from East India Company, who was founded. Uh, was founded in 31st in December 1600. It was East India Company was established, or it was made on this date, and from this date to 1947, means when India got freedom. This period is called the Raj. In this Raj period, the evolution of English language happened, and the role we come to know through this period called the Raj. In now make you aware with these important years how in these years from 1600 to 1947, how the role it played, the English played in Indian scenario, how it developed. In 1857, universities were opened, the most in the Madras, Calcutta, and three universities were open. And in 1963, the protests against Hindi as official language, when India got freedom, protest happened, especially in North India, where the people protested to make Hindi as official language. There were 18 national languages. Later on, now I think it's 22 national languages like Bengali, Marathi, Nepali, Sanskrit. These people protested uh, in accepting the Hindi as official language. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted permission to East India Company for trade and business. For business, it was this Queen Elizabeth uh, granted a permission to trade with mm, granted East India Company to trade with India. In the 1813, very important year, that is Charter Act. Uh, this Charter Act was what passed in British Parliament. English education was introduced in this year. This Indian education was introduced in India. English language and culture were spread through missionaries. The medium of spreading the British culture or English culture or English language through missionaries. The objectives were popularized Western culture in India. The objective of these missionaries was to popularize Western culture in India. This fact is known by this reality is that missionaries were their objective were to popularize Western culture. It can be seen, it can be known by this fact that from 1814 to 1840, more than 50 missionaries were opened. More than 50 missionaries were opened in this period, and that precipitated this Babu culture in India for jobs and all. It it developed. Now, in 1835, English was introduced as official for medium of instruction. In colleges and universities and in schools, the 1835 English was accepted as official language of medium of instruction. In 1857, as I told you, three universities it was started, was established. These were Madras University, Calcutta University, and Bombay University. Three universities were established in 1857. Now, in 1869, Lord Napier's convocation address at Madras University, where this Lord Napier talked about the role and objectives of English in Indian scenario. He has talked. He has given the role. What is the role which this language is going to play in Indian scenario that he had talked about in the convocation at Madras University. In 1882, Hunter Commission came and he gave the report about the language. In 1887, the University of Allahabad was established that played a very important role uh, in the Uttar Pradesh. Now, after independence, after India got freedom in 1947, and what's the role of English after independence, after um, uh, being being as a independent country? What's the role that I'm going to talk about? First of all, these were three people who supported English after independence uh, in becoming the English as official language. These three people were uh, Rajgopalachari, second is Pandit Nehru, third one is Maulana Azad. These three people supported English language, and and after and it was decided uh, that English will be the official language for 15 years after independence, that is till 1665. Till 1665 English will be the official language. It was decided after independence, and that is written in the Indian constitution, that says the article 343 2, where English is made as the official language for 15 years. Now, 1957, Angreji Hatao Andolan by Ram Manohar Lohia. The people they protested against this against English being an official language. Now, in 1963, Jansangh also protested in in making the English as official language. In 1967, English will remain as official language, and it will all depend on the states. Actually, in 1967, when there was there were protests in India, um, in not accepting Hindi as official language. Uh, and in After that, in 1967, it was accepted that it will be the official language of India, but it depends on the states whether they regard it whether they will make it they accept it as official language or not. It all depends on the states. Now, demand of English by Indians. Now there came a demand because of as a profession, to get jobs. There was a demand from both sides, means from the East India Company, or from the British Raj, as well as from the Indian side, that through this they can get the job. So there were two opinions, there were two groups. Basically, the first is Anglicist group and second is Orientalist group. There was two groups that were made at that time. First, Anglicist group says the English language is superior. Anglicist says that English is superior and English should be the medium of education, as Raja Ram Mohan Roy supported English, uh, and that was the group. And second group was just against it, that is Orientalist group, that says Hindi is superior than English and medium of education should be Hindi. So there were two groups that were made, they that regarding this English language. So that is important. Now, the role of Lord Macaulay in becoming the English as a prominent language or official language. Macaulay myths is very important. That is also said manifesto of English education in India. Macaulay minutes is also where he made the minutes regarding these English as official language, in becoming the English as official language. That is also called Manifesto of English Education in India, where he writes. It's very important what he writes in that Macaulay minutes. We must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern. A class of persons, Indians on blood and color, but English in taste, opinions, in morals, and in intellect. So, on this basis of Macaulay's merits, English became the medium of instruction in colleges and schools. And that is very important, the Macaulay minutes. On that basis, English became as official language or as a very important medium of instruction in colleges and schools as well. In this Macaulay minutes, it was dedicated. Sorry, it was decided that the fund would be devoted to English in India. The fund would come, whatever the fund would come, that would be used in making English language as a very prominent language, the most important language. So that was decided in Macaulay minutes. Very important. In the sense that English, how English developed, how it became a very prominent language. So this is all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much.